Dobry večer, Kiev. Indeed, this enlargement report from this year shows incredible development in Ukraine. For me, it is a kind of a miracle that your country, being at war, is at the same time advancing so well in the whole accession process. And I am also full of admiration because, you know, one of the most important things you are also doing, fighting every day, is keeping Russia also out of Europe. Regarding your progress on the way into the European Union, there are still many important steps, a lot of steps which needs to be done, and this cannot be done through from one day to another. So what we are doing now is supporting your country, that we will get your legislation completely conformed with the European one. Mostly the speed of the accession process depends on the reforms which needs to be done in your country. On the other hand, we also have to consider the dynamic in the member states. So the member states are the one who are following the process. I am responsible with my team from the technical accession process, but all together, the main goal from us is to somehow follow the vision of your President Zelensky and your government, that we could finish the accession process or the negotiations in 28, and then we would need 1 to 2 years for the ratification of the accession treaty. So it's really looking good for your country, and congratulations once again. Yes, I don't know if I have 1 hour or 2 hours. No, I'm having less time, but this is a bit of complicated, but actually it's a very good system. So during the screening process, when we compare the legislation of Ukraine and with the European one, we found out, and we have done this screening process in the record time for your country, then we see what kind of legislation needs to be adopted to the European level. And in order to have a system in this, we have divided different areas in 6 different clusters. Like, for instance, the first is fundamentals, which is the rule of law, judiciary system, anti-corruption. And then, for instance, the second one, it is the single market, divided into sub-chapters. So what we do is then we help you, Ukraine, to do the negotiations in this specific chapter. So we open one cluster at one, and then we close chapter by chapter. This enables our candidate countries like you, Moldova, or any other, to have a systematic approach. And of course, there are hundreds and hundreds of people involved in this process. In Ukraine, it is about 3,000. This is many people who work with one goal: to bring you as soon as possible into the European Union. We need a solid process in the negotiations, and one is as I have said, the technical part of the negotiations. On the other hand, it is about the political dynamic in our member states. It is impossible that we will bring in new member states unless the countries agreed. The best way to do is that Ukraine will deliver further on the reforms. The more you will be advanced, the easier it would be for the member states to decide that you can go on. And it is, you know, no member state can veto you doing the reforms. So the best way is to deliver. And inside the European Union, we are looking for the solutions that we will be able to go on. We have been able until now in this year. This was really a very good year because we went through all the screening processes. So the better you will be in these accession processes or doing the reforms, the easier it will be for you to become a member of the European Union. And it is also our responsibility. You know, I'm telling that the candidate countries are my candidates because, you know, once we give a country like Ukraine candidate status, it is also our responsibility and commitment to do also the help and to bring you in. So this is actually the only and the most important task which I have as a Commissioner for Enlargement, to bring you and all the other candidates into the European Union. Let me be very clear, all member states are equal. And this is the foundation of our European Union, anchored in our treaties. So it cannot be that we have member states of first class or of the second class. What is important is that once we will get new members in the European Union, this will make us stronger and non-weaker. And, we are very, very demanding to our candidates what they have to deliver through the negotiation process. Sometimes I even say that we are more demanding to our candidates than towards the member states. So what we have to do, and this is the sense of having a safeguards, what we have to assure also to the citizens of the European Union is that once you will become, and any other country, become a member of the EU, you will follow the main principles and follow the values and follow on what is our European Union grounded. So this is the most important point when we speak about the safeguards. And we know these safeguards from the past. For instance, in 2004, when my country, Slovenia, became a member of the EU, Poland at that time has gotten 20 years of transitional period for agriculture. There were also transitional periods for the movement of the workers. So these safeguards are there in place that we also enable all the member states that they are on the equal level and that they can deliver as a true partners of the European Union. I'm not happy when I hear that the main line is that the report is negative. On the contrary, the report is more than 100 pages long. And the main goal of this report is that we tell our candidates what they have delivered and what still needs to be done. And it is done in the way that we measure the 1 year progress from last year and the common level of the preparedness. And when we, for instance, said that there still needs to be done something on the field of the rule of law or judiciary system or anti-corruption, it is something actually we do for every country because this is the most important part of the accession process. Indeed, since we haven't started the negotiations yet, I hope this will be done soon, we will then go through all these areas which are now mentioned in the report that needs to be better. Once again, no report is excellent in the sense excellent it would be that a candidate country is fulfilling all the criteria to become a member of the EU. But the tendency is important, meaning that there is no backsliding, and there are countries when we speak about the backsliding, but for you, Ukraine, from all the 9 candidates, you are among the top 4. So it is you, Moldova, it is Montenegro and Albania, which have advanced the most in the last year, and you are on the very good path. So once again, my warning, please, we have to read the whole report to understand what is it about, and it is much more positive than possibilities for improvement for your country. Georgia and Serbia are not the same. And those are very different countries and very different candidates. The Georgian government has turned the back to the European Union. And what we also know is that the Georgian government is lying to its people that it's bringing the country towards the EU. It's the opposite. The government is taking Georgia away from the European Union. The government is putting the journalists into jail. It's putting the political opponents in jail. It's putting, the opposition representatives into the jail. And the government is adopting all the time the laws which are against the European legislation. So they are lying to their people. And my call to action to them is really, please, the government, you should listen to your people, and your people want to become a member of the EU. The situation in Serbia is different because the government of Serbia and the president, they declare EU membership as a priority, and we are in the discussion. As you know, we don't talk to the government of Georgia because they told us we don't want to talk to you, so we don't talk. But in Serbia, in the last year, in some respects, they have been backsliding, especially on the freedom of media, academic freedom, rule of law area. But generally, the whole preparedness of Serbia, which is a candidate since 2012, is pretty good. But of course, it needs to be done a lot. And what is disturbing me when I speak about Serbia as a candidate is that their politicians have used anti-European rhetoric. They should stop this, and they should better align their foreign and security policy with the European one. You know, from a country who would like to become a member of the EU, not just me, but we all expect that it behaves like this. And for the time being, Serbia is not. I am happy that you have mentioned the question of the geopolitics. You know, the development after the war started in your country has really changed geopolitics. And this is now, again, you know, when I speak about the enlargement today, it is much more than just the enlargement. It is bringing peace back to Europe. You are not living in peace because of Russia's aggression of war. And how do we deal with this is on a different level. I'm very happy that there is a clear decision from all the member states, EU27, that we are helping your country. Until now, with close to 180 billion. Humanitarian help, military help, political help, and so on. Yes, indeed. We should also sometimes see more this big picture. And for me, this is a very important part. And when I speak about the enlargement, I see your membership in the European Union as a political anchor of the security guarantees which you need. There has never been a war on the territory of the European Union, but it has been war on the territory of Europe. It was in my country a few hours after we declared our independence in 91, and much worse than in Croatia and Bosnia. So this geopolitical situation today is also warning to us Europeans, and that's why I am positive and optimistic that we will come to the solution. Namely, it is really about putting Russia out of Europe. It is really fight against the system who cannot stand democracy, who cannot stand free nations or free countries. And, you know, for me, it's very important, and this is going in the right direction. Indeed, sometimes, because we have to, our decision-making process is built on the EU27. We cannot bring a decision over the night. The autocrats can do this, but we are not this kind of system. So, please, bear with us. We are on your side. Sometimes we need more time to get to the unanimity or to get a decision. But, you know, if I look in the past, we have had many difficult situations in Europe, but we have been able to find the solutions to the most difficult problems or challenges, and I'm sure we will find the right solution for your country and for a safe and secure Europe and peaceful Europe too.